Howdy folks, and welcome back to another Armored Warfare replay. I am your host Bjorn, and today I have for you just myself on PvE Hardcore. This is Operation Ricochet, and I am playing the Tier 6 Premium, the T72M2 Wilk. And Wilk translates as wolf. This is a Polish T72. I'll do a quick overview of this, so you can get a good look at the tank. I have a desert camo on here. Lots of ERA bricks. Pretty nifty looking model. I actually like this model better than the T72B model. I don't know. All that ERA looks really good. So we're going to begin with some of the history.
Four companies down. Capturing the port is up to you now. Black Company, stand by for new intel.
So let's begin with some of the history of the T72M2. With up to the 1980s, the Polish Army was restricted to using T55A as their primary MBT. It wasn't until the Soviet Union saw fit to grant the use of newer MBTs. However, Poland and Czechoslovakia at the time was the go-to supplier for T-72s to other Warsaw Pact nations. Basically, they were the main supplier, even though they couldn't have T-72s themselves, which is very interesting. Poland launched a domestic production program of the T-72M in 1981. The T-72M would best be described as a kind of in-between of the T-72 and a T-72A. The T-72M was produced for Soviet exports only. A few years later, in 1986, Poland would begin production of the T-72M1, which was more or less a Polish T-72A. However, as production began and the Polish General Staff would consider the T-72M as non-sufficient for the modern battlefield. Understand, at the time, Western powers was introducing a new generation of main battle tanks, such as the Leopard 2 and the M1 Abrams.
You're almost there.
Both of which were considered more fearsome than any previous Western main battle tank. That would be like the M60, the Leopard 1. So in the late 1980s, Poland would take measures to increase their combat capabilities. First option was to negotiate a contract to build newer, more advanced Soviet MBTs, such as the T-72B. Second option was to upgrade the current T-72M1. So Poland first would begin formal negotiations in 1988. However, negotiations would fail in 1990. So a program would begin to upgrade the current T-72-1M. The focus was to increase the survivability by means of increasing mobility, protection, and improved night fighting capabilities. At first, a number of organizations cooperated with Obram on the project. However, with the fall of the Soviet Union, Poland would continue the project on their own. At some point between 1989 and 1990, Obram R&D would build 3 prototypes based on the Wilk program.
Good job.
One model would be based on the T-72A, another on the T-72M1, and finally on the T-72M1D. The T-72M1D is a command variant. Most likely has improved radios, things of that nature. The prototypes would feature a Darwa fire control system. They would also feature an Arwa 1 ERA package, what you see here. The all-new steel side screens, an SSC Obra 1 laser warning system. I'll explain that in a bit.
Ammo up.
Passive second generation night optics, improved gun stabilization, transmission, a new S12U diesel engine, and a new smoke launcher system. In 1991, with the successful examination of the 3 prototypes, it was decided to pursue the development even further. The Wilk project was concluded, and another one was launched. The result of this project would become the PT-91. Now, all that being said, to throw this out there really quick, because not every tank has one of these, and not necessarily everyone is familiar with them. The Obra 1 laser warning system is actually a system that detects when a laser designator, maybe from, per se, an ATGM launcher or a gunnery scope, locks onto the target, and basically gives a warning. Usually within the gunnery scopes is where I've seen the warnings before. I've personally actually seen one of these warnings. Pretty much gives off a big, big flash warning light, actually in the gunnery scope. And there's some other locations where it gives it off. It could be a warning light, usually on the wall by the TC, to get his attention. And basically that lets him know to tell his driver to move the tank. Basically, to let them know that, yeah, we've been locked on. So what you have here in Armored Warfare with the T72M2 Wilk is actually one of the prototype Wilk tanks, which I believe this is supposed to be the T72 M1D prototype. Now the one thing I can say about it is it's fairly comparable to the T72B. The explosive reactive armor, I noticed, is not quite as durable or reliable as the regular T72s, but it still holds up pretty good to abuse. It is a brawler. This vehicle has no ATGMs as an optional ammo. All it has is armor piercing and high explosive anti-tank. However, when you compare the high explosive anti-tank ammunition on the T72M2 versus the T72B, the heat ammunition is actually better on the T72M2, which is why I packed a few extra heat rounds and I packed a few less armor piercing than I would if I was playing a T72B. I wouldn't consider it a great tank, but it is a fun tank to play. I could recommend this tank. However, that being said, it's all what you're after. Honestly, to me, the Object 187 at Tier 7 is a better tank all the way around. It's got, well, I mean, it's a Tier 7. It's frankly, it's just better all the way around. And the big thing is it's got a better credit payout. So what I'd say is if you like the T72B, you could either get this tank or you could get the Object 187, and you couldn't go wrong either way. Personally, I would go for the Object 187 if I was just looking for a tank with a better credit payout potential, which that's higher tier premium. However, the T72M2 Wilk is a fairly fun tank, and I do enjoy it. As you can see here, we got the win, and I'm going to pull up my results. I did over 14,500 damage, spotted 5 enemy vehicles and destroyed 8, got myself a blue star and a target medal. Definitely put myself to abuse, and I tend to in this vehicle. I mean, it is a brawler. And there you go. It's top damage overall, even with the I had a message actually right there at the beginning of the replay I had to deal with, which is why I kind of just paused and was sitting there in the map. But there you go. There's the results of the match. It's a fun tank to play. I could recommend it if you want it. If you're looking for essentially a premium tank, but you can't afford a tier 7 or a tier 8, it is a decent tier 6. But there you go, folks. So that was the T72M2 Wilk, the Wolf of Poland. Hopefully you enjoyed the replay, folks, and I will see you again on the next one.